transformation into an extreme political warfare is simply one measure of the crisis of American democracy. Americans from the highest levels of leadership and mainstream press down are transforming George Orwell's daily exercise of 2 minutes of hate into a 24-hour barrage of negative headlines, ad hominem attacks, insults, abuse, threats, unsupported allegations, and wild conspiracy theories, all of which amounts to a political and cultural hysteria that for a free society verges on madness and self-destruction. The full measure of the crisis can be gauged by the vacuum of leadership at the highest level. For as yet there are many partisans and few statesmen. No Abraham Lincoln has stepped forward to speak on behalf of the better angels of the American Republic. If anyone did, their task would be gargantuan. For the present generation has rejected both the vision and the manner of the 16th president as decisively as many have rejected that of the founders. There is too little statesmanship to match the gravity of the hour, and too little analysis that goes beyond supporting one side or the other, or that delves down to the real roots of the problem. For the deepest crisis touches on an issue more profound than almost all the present discussion and as deep to America as the evil of slavery. A fundamental clash over the freedom and the nature of the American experiment that lies at the heart of the Republic. If nations are to be understood by what they love supremely, then freedom is and always has been the key to America. But the question facing America is, what is the key to freedom? The present clash is not simply between Republicans and Democrats, conservatives and liberals, rich and poor, urban and rural, heartlanders and coastals, or even globalists and nationalists, important though these differences are. The deepest division cross-cuts these other differences at several points. At the core, the deepest division is rooted in the differences between two world-changing and opposing revolutions, the American Revolution of 1776 and the French Revolution of 1789, and their rival views of freedom and the nature of the American experiment. It could be argued that the clash is simply between the old classical American liberalism and the new left liberalism that emerged from the 1960s. But it is deeper than that. The fundamental clash is between the spirit, the heirs and the allies of 1776, and the ideas that made the American Revolution, versus the spirit, the heirs and the allies of 1789, and the different ideas that made the French Revolution and seeded the progressive liberalism of the left, with the later help of thinkers such as Friedrich Nietzsche, Antonio Gramsci, the Frankfurt School, and Michel Foucault. The pressing clash is therefore a life and death conflict between two Americas, two revolutions, and two futures. Following the seismic 60s, when the chasm opened in its current form, a massive flood tide of philosophical, religious, cultural, and political disagreements has swollen into public disputes that now engulf the nation in a second civil war, although along very different lines and for the moment, a cold civil war. The outcome is crucial for both America and the world. It calls into question the American Republic as it was founded, and it calls into question the United States as the world's lead society and the champion and exemplar of human freedom for the world. As history underscores, the way of 1789, aided and abetted by the heirs of 1917, the Russian Revolution, and 1949, the Chinese Revolution, has led and will always lead to catastrophe for the cause of freedom and a liberal political order, whereas the way of 1776, for all its shortcomings, has led to some of freedom's greatest successes, however much maligned today. Restore or repeal and replace? That is the question for the American Republic as it was founded. There is no escaping the coming showdown, for Americans are fast approaching their Rubicon. Is 1776